Tom Crawford. I'm the Jersey guy. I'm Lewis here with Kenny and your favorite guy, Jersey guy, Tom. Get ready for another round of real talk, crazy stories, and everything in between. How are you, gentlemen?
All right,
good,
all right,
man.
all right.
We're doing good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We always
so,
have a good time.
we always have a good time. As I was saying before.
We had to restart.
Yeah, we had to
We
restart.
thought we were recording.
Yeah. Sorry. My bad.
So we seem
My bad.
a little like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're just
Making sure that
we
the
were
light was right.
we recorded. Thought we recorded like 5 or 6 minutes. And
Yeah.
hysterical.
No, it was
That's
only like
good.
3. It was only
Oh,
like
it was
3.
only
Yeah.
3. It
'Cause I
felt
saw the
like
clock. Yeah.
All right, cool. So it's like it wasn't 10 or
Yeah.
something
No.
like
It was
that.
only like
Anyway.
2-3 minutes. Yeah.
So
That hurts.
Our show
Anyway.
tonight episode is
yes, it is going to be on fasting,
Yes.
and I am well versed in it because I do practice fasting.
right.
But there are many different types of fasting. So I figure I'll start with what's very popular now is intermittent fasting. People are doing it. You can work into your daily life. It's very easy to do.
Right.
So the most common one of intermittent fasting is called 16-8. So 16-8 is where you have a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window. So typically what people do is they'll have their cutoff time, say 7 p.m. That's no more eating after that.
Right.
Then you don't eat till lunchtime, which you want to eat an earlier lunch, usually like 11 a.m. or you can do 12, but that would just close your eating window to like a 17-7 or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But either way, you do that just every day, and then you just make that part of your daily routine and the way you eat, and people lose weight that way because they're essentially skipping a meal, so they're just calorie reduction.
Right.
But I thought
Super healthy for you too, though, right?
Yeah, well, that's when you start getting into the more deeper fastings, and we'll talk. We'll
get
about
into
a
that.
little bit.
All right, cool.
Well, I thought that fasting, not so much fasting, but like people that were fasting, that your body starts to crave those nutrients. So let's just say like you skip lunch or you skip dinner, that now your next meal pretty much is going to be what your body's going to store, which then is what creates fat.
No, I can explain that. There's actually when your body goes into what's the word I'm looking for?
No idea.
Like you're in a fasting state, but this is for like deeper fasting. Your body goes into a fasted state. What happens is your body starts secreting different hormones, and there's a hormone your body creates that I think that's what it is.
It starts to eat.
So
all
don't
the,
if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, anybody watching a video of us or listening to it. But so your body it stops secreting a hormone or whatever or something like that when you hold on.
Let's not guess here.
Because
so what happens is now your body starts you burn up all that's right, you burn up all the sorry, we smoked earlier, so
So hang on. So I got some stuff here. Everyone, help me out. So blood sugar and insulin levels.
Right.
Fasting lowers blood sugar and insulin levels, enhancing insulin sensitivity. Then you have cellular repair, autophagy.
autophagy.
There you
Yes,
go,
so
autophagy.
autophagy is a big
Calls,
thing in fasting, but
cells clean and out damaged components, reducing inflammation and aging-related damage, which is positive. Then you have hormonal changes, ketosis, reduction of oxidative stress.
yeah, so I figured I'd get into all that.
Yeah,
I figured-
absolutely. No,
I figure
go for it.
We'll get more into like the biological things. I figured like later on.
Right.
Let's figure we go through first what type of the fasting windows there are. So then there's so some people will do like a 6-hour eating window, and help me with the math here. I guess
So it's 20.
it was 17-8, and so then it would be 19-6.
yeah, or whatever. But they'll do a 6-hour eating window, or sometimes they'll shorten it to a 4-hour eating window. And then you have what some people do, and that's the they call the OMAD diet, which is 1 meal a day. And you just eat like 1 meal a day, but like
For 5 days.
yeah, or as long as some people do it for whatever amount of time they want. Some people do that as their like daily life, like forever. They eat 1 meal a day, but I just have to, anybody just listening, when you do that, you have to be really careful.
Research it and check it out. That's all.
When you eat 1 meal a day, you have to eat a big meal in order to get all your nutrients.
Right.
So that's the thing too. You have to remember that. But on the flip side, if you decide you're going to not do 1 meal a day anymore, or you're doing it for a short amount of time, you become used to eating large meals, and then you want to eat bigger meals for your
Right.
next meal
Later on, right.
And so you can have overeating issues. So anytime, any type of fasting, when you break your fast, you need to make sure you don't overeat, because it's very, very easy to fall into this habit of overeating.
Right.
And that's actually happened to me before.
Right.
And I had to like self-correct it. So, and
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's a really thing you have to just be conscious.
Because you're anticipating. I mean, especially if it's getting close to the end, you're like, all right, so now I'm going to be able to.
But
I got
now
them Snickers up in the
Yeah.
closet.
I don't get that little.
And then there's something called water fasting, and
Right.
that's extended fasting.
Right.
I've done them too, where I'll do like a 5-day water fast, but you have to remember to have salts, magnesium, and potassium, because those are nutrients that your body needs. Otherwise, you get sore, you get a little lightheaded and loopy.
Yeah.
So you really need. They actually have a fasting supplement that I take. So anybody listen to this, this is not any medical advice.
Right. This is what you do. And other people need to research their stuff and,
so this is what
and
I
figure
do.
them
So,
out.
Right, because everybody's
That's
body
all.
different.
Yeah.
You have to be careful with this kind of stuff. Do your research
Yeah,
before you do
because
anything.
you said everybody's body's different. Everybody
Right.
reacts to this stuff
We're
differently.
just telling you about it and what I've experienced, but like, if you're thinking about doing it, just do your research.
Right.
If you got to consult, if you have
So,
any medical issues.
how long have you been fasting for, though? For a while now?
Yeah, I started doing it like 2018.
So that's a nice.
But I don't do it all the time. Like I do the.
But you never stopped it either, though. So
No,
that's a
no.
positive.
Like I stop. Like sometimes I'll eat breakfast. I'll eat 3 meals a day. Sometimes I'm not like religious about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? I just, sometimes I'll do it. Sometimes I won't.
I get it.
Right.
I get it.
But I've done the extended ones. I've done water fasts. I've done 5-day water fasts.
That's got to
The
be
longest
rough.
I've done is 7 days. But I
need water.
I take a
No way.
fasting supplement, and you have to take a lot. You have to take a lot.
need the
Like, you
water
have
to take the
like 4
supplements.
pills like 3 times a day, and it's got like salt, magnesium, and potassium in it.
Right.
And that's
Mainly
all you're having for these days.
And
only
water,
liquid.
Water, and you can also drink black coffee and plantain too.
Okay, but that's all. So there's no actual food.
No food.
No food at all for 7
all.
days. Only
7
water.
days.
Now,
So-
how fast do you lose the weight, kind of thing? Because that's
fast.
basically
Very fast. But I'll explain what happens. So your body starts going into a fasted state, and you go into ketosis.
right.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, when you go into ketosis,
12 to 36 hours. 12 to 36
12 to
hours.
36 hours. Once you're over the 2 or 3 day window, it's smooth sailing. Because what happens is your body now goes into ketosis and starts burning fat, and that's what we store fat for.
Right.
For a rainy day, but we never take rainy days because we live in a modern civilization
Right.
where we have an abundance of food.
But right now we do.
Yeah.
So now so it's something our body is designed to do. Fasting. That's why we store fat. But when you don't have a rainy day or not rainy day, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Periods
Yeah.
of starvation or
Right.
or just there's like no food, 'cause
Right.
that's what happens when you're hunting and gathering. So what happens is your body starts burning fat because it unlocks that access when you go into ketosis. So,
Well, we have some of this that you can use. That's what the body says.
Right.
and what happens is it's crazy when you go into, because first you have like the keto flu. First couple of days are a little rough because you get cold. You get it's the worst.
Okay.
But then once you get past that,
All right.
when you go into ketosis, what happens is you start getting warm because you're cold when you're fasting. Those first couple of days, and you start getting warm again, and your like brain is in like super mode. I swear to you, when you are fasting and your body goes into ketosis, your brain is like really alert and very like you're like it's like almost like superpowers.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's what they say.
And
They
there's
say
people in like out in like Silicon Valley that biohack, and when they're doing these big coding things, they'll fast so their brain can go into ketosis, so their brain can be a little more.
right. It's pretty cool.
So it's better to start that on a Friday after work.
But
You know
there's
what I mean?
also something that
Friday at work.
What's that?
It's better to start it on like the weekend so that this way, for those who work on Monday through
Unless
Friday.
working, it does help you get through the day, but then you're burning a lot of energy. Too,
Well, no,
depending on
because
what
then you mess. But I'm saying because then, you're running the energy. But then if you're gonna have that first day or two that you're saying would be, your mind kind of like slowing down a little bit until you hit the ketosis.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying if you do it on
Once
the
you
weekend.
yeah. If you started on the weekend, you're good.
Right.
I found it harder for me on the weekends. I found Monday through Friday to be the best because you're working and you're busy. So
Your mind is somewhere else.
because what happens is you don't, after you get past like the day, 1 or 2 days, that period when you go into ketosis, you don't get hungry anymore. You're like not even hungry anymore. It's really weird, but you do crave foods. It's weird. Like you're not physically hungry, but you're like, man, I just wish I could bite into something, or whatever you like. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, because like I said, I was always under the impression that if you fasted as opposed to portion control, that then your body, anything that you ate, your body would store, especially if you didn't exercise or you're not moving around at your job and such.
So there's actually like opposing, like it's weird. There's like scientific evidence that says the opposite, that like calorie restrictive diets are slow down your metabolism,
Right.
because like your body is saying that your body's telling you there's like a scarcity of food, so it's trying to preserve.
Right,
Where when you're fasting, your body goes, oh, time to burn the fat, and then when you go off it, you're back into your normal metabolic rate. It might take a
little while to kick
like
back
a day
in.
or, And there's things too about
To adjust, it makes sense.
Refeeding is another thing too. So there's if you fast for more than like 2 weeks. So this is like really people doing really hardcore fasting. You have to take a supplement. I forget what it is. It's phosphate or something like that. Or I like I said, just look this up. But
did you ever hear of this one?
Refeeding syndrome.
Is this it? A reduction in oxidative stress, decreased production of free radicals, which can damage cells. In other words, if you go to the next level after ketosis, that's the next level.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to get into. So there's people that therapeutic fast, and there's some evidence. There's I don't know how much scientific evidence there is, but people say that they do it for to prevent cancers and stuff like that. But
radicals, free radicals, and things like that.
Real.
Right.
And it's called autophagy, and there was a doctor who actually got from Japan that got like a Nobel Prize for discovering autophagy through fasting, because it is anti-cancerous. There are it also like kind of like reverses aging a little bit too.
Okay.
So what happens is your body goes through autophagy and it starts cleaning up all the dead cells in your body, where the new cells, the healthy cells, start consuming these old cells that are, or partial cells, or like there's a lot of garbage in your blood. It starts consuming that, and it starts cleaning up your blood. It starts cleaning everything up.
Nice.
Your skin gets a little tighter. They've actually done studies where your skin gets tighter and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. So some people will do these.
That's super disciplined if you can do that.
You be like a real health nut. Or,
yeah.
I don't want to offend anybody who does
No,
that.
I mean, I think
when I say health
that's
nut,
amazing.
I mean that in a good way.
Yeah.
Like you're really into like the health scene.
And that's the 7 day?
Yeah, they say autophagy starts after 3 days. They say 3 days and beyond is autophagy, and then there's more evidence that like these really prolonged fasts. But again, you have to take a special supplement for refeeding, because if you
need certain nutrients regardless. So when you do it, you have to have them.
I forget what happens, but like if you haven't eaten food for like a certain amount of time, your body, something happens in your body, so you got to take a certain supplement so you don't get refeeding syndrome.
Right.
What is that? Explain.
Actually, do you want to look it up? I don't have my phone with me. Refeeding syndrome.
Refeeding syndrome?
Yeah. So it's an actual thing that can happen, but you have to like fast for like 2 weeks.
Right. So now, only because I'm going to ask it like this. When people do it, okay, do they really, do they stay with the weight loss? Are they doing it for weight loss? Are they doing it for
There's all kinds of
like
reasons. Some people do it for weight loss. I did it for weight loss. But there's some people who do it for like those health benefits and those health reasons. Like there's some people that like will fast, like do a prolonged fast, like every quarter, like every like 3 months, they'll do like a 1 week fast or something.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Some people do it once a month.
Okay, what do we got here? Refeeding syndrome is a potentially dangerous condition that can occur when someone has been fasting. Malnourished or severely undernourished begins to eat again. The rapid reintroduction of food, particularly carbohydrates, can cause a sudden shift in fluid and electrolyte balances, leading to serious complications.
So you have to take this special.
You probably have to, and then you got to go slow. You can't just go to town.
As for weight loss, Look up if you.
Your body's still in shock, right?
I don't have my phone on me. Look up now. Scottish man fasted.
Scottish.
Fasted for like over 300 pounds or something like that.
Wow.
The guy was like,
You truly are a fat
I
bastard.
know.
Wow.
I think he
I
was.
I couldn't help
English.
it.
You know, maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe I'm thinking of that, but I think he was English. But
I couldn't help it.
See, no more movies.
anyway, this happened in the 50s. He didn't eat for like over a year, a little over a year, and he went from like 400 and something pounds to like 180 something pounds.
Just drinking water.
And the thing is, again, with the skin tightness thing, he didn't have any of the loose skin that you see.
Shut up.
Yeah, he had normal skin.
What's this guy's name, man?
I don't know. You can't find it?
No.
Well,
So now, when you do
again,
that,
like, yeah.
right? So you're doing this, you do the fasting,
Yeah.
fine. You said you lose the weight or whatever. How hard is it for you when you go back to eating food? So like, I know when I'm sick and I'm done, I'm, puking or whatever, that then, if I don't eat the same way I did, last week.
That's the cool thing too, is you actually like, when you come out of like a 5-day fast,
Right.
you actually develop better eating habits if if your first meal is like healthy, because you start because you haven't had like a week of your old eating habits, so you can kind of train your mind into eating a little healthier. So that's another hack too. Is
that makes
doing
sense.
A 5-day fast, and not only that, you have to start eating slowly. Like you can't eat like
Right, you got to go slow because your body's still going.
What I follow what Dr. Fung said. He's actually I didn't even get that far, sorry, but he's a nephrologist in Canada, and he actually treats diabetic patients with fasting, and actually has reversed some of their diabetes.
Well, that makes sense.
Through fasting. So, but I follow what he said, and he said that when you were coming out of a fast, he goes, eat like a small snack, like a handful like olives or something like that, like a small low calorie, something that can fit in the palm of your hand, like an hour or two before your meal. I think he said like an hour before your first meal. And then it kind of like turns on your digestive system.
Okay.
And then you can eat like a small meal after that. I wouldn't don't eat big. You're gonna regret it.
That's exactly, it's going to hurt. You're going to be, be turning.
If you ever had indigestion, that's like times 10.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Right.
I made that mistake before.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you drink, so can you, it's not a good idea then to drink Gatorade. It's just like straight water and the supplement.
No, sugar's no good because that'll take you out of a fasted state. The whole
Oh,
point
no, it'd be bad.
is to keep your body in the fasted state, because if you come out of a fasted state, then you don't have the autophagy and the ketosis.
It's almost like
your body out of ketosis.
Yeah, you're like, it's like introducing yourself,
Oh,
like a drug addict, introducing drugs back into their system
and the
right
weight
after,
gain,
because they haven't done it for so long.
Right.
Think of it that way, in the sense where now your body is like, whoa, hold up.
and
Like not so much at one time kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Got you.
That's what I also want to talk about a little bit about the weight loss. So
Right.
with fasting, when you're in ketosis, what'll happen is you actually burn on average a half a pound of body fat a day.
Really?
Just body fat. And that's the thing too, like there's a myth about like your body like burning muscle and stuff. Your body doesn't do that, because the way Dr. Fung explained it, it made perfect sense. He's like, okay, the reason he explained, the reason our bodies, do this is as a mechanism for, times of food scarcity.
Right.
And he said, if a caveman was like hunting and gathering and not eating, would he get tired and sleepy and his muscles be deteriorate and it'd just be a big ball of fat? Like,
Right.
no, you're going to burn fat. Your body's going to preserve the muscles.
Right.
Your body actually produces a growth hormone, a muscle growth hormone. To preserve and that's another hack too people do, is when they come out of the fast, they start lifting weights.
That's what I was going to ask next.
Getting that growth hormone.
Right. Well, they did. Hugh Jackman did that when he was doing Wolverine.
Oh, that's what his thing was.
Yeah, they kind of did it in such a way when they did the workout, so he would look ripped.
It's fast, and then you lift after the first day. So you're you're eating like protein and all that, but you're like your muscles have that growth hormone, so they just fucking grow.
So do your fasting for like the 3 days,
3 or 4 days,
3 or 4 days, and then start the workout after you start eating again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he was. I don't think he was fasting, but I know when they did his workout, they changed it up to where he would look tighter and everything when he was ripped from working out. So, but I definitely
while they're fasting.
That's what I was gonna. That's what I was thinking.
I wouldn't do any like heavy lifting, but some people do light lifting. Some people do cardio.
Well, I was trying to do like calisthenics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
That's
do
where I'm
that
at.
for sure.
Yeah.
You do yoga.
But
Anything really. That's not going to be too high impact.
Right, because I don't want to be like, like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't want to be all crazy.
No,
big.
you just
I
want to
have,
feel
like,
good about
I just
yourself.
want to have like, nifty little cuts and
you
get
do-
back to 20, 5 years old.
you do lose what is it? You do lose a lot of water weight. So
Right.
when you step on the scale, you're like, oh my God, I lost 15 pounds. But then like 8 of it will gain back in a couple days. Because
Right.
like
Right.
The water.
your water weight. But like,
Right. Understood.
but again, remember that point, that half a pound a day on average. If you're like excessively overweight, it's going to be more than half a pound. If you're like thin,
Right.
it's going to be less. But so it's an average amount. But like,
Gotcha.
say you do a 3-day fast, you're gonna. Well, actually, it's keto. You got to take out the day for ketosis. So say you do a 5-day fast, right? You're gonna lose about 4 pounds of pure body fat, which 4 pounds of pure body fat is a lot.
Right.
It is.
Yeah,
More
it
than
is.
You think it
It
is? 'Cause
is.
It's just body fat.
Yeah.
So you can, when you're starting this, you don't really notice it. But when you when your weight starts getting down and down and down and your body fat percentage drops,
Right.
you really start to notice each fast. Because I was doing that. I was doing some 5-day fasts here and I was doing my 6.
I remember you did it a few times when we worked together.
Yeah,
You did
and
it
then
a
I
couple
was,
times.
but like when you start, like right now, I've lost a lot of weight, and that's not just from fasting. I've been doing a lot of other stuff too.
Good.
But in fact, I've been doing in recent years. I've done less fasting. I did more in the past. But anyway, so now I'm down to like in the 190s, right?
Awesome.
If I fast now for a 5-day fast, 4
Right.
pounds of body fat is going to look a lot differently on
Right.
me. You're going to be like, wow, you lost a lot of weight, Tom. But like 4 pounds when I was like 250 pounds,
Yeah.
you don't notice 4 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
You did, but you just can't see it yet.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah.
I'm 2 pounds body fat. Yeah.
2
for
pounds.
40s,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like I
It's a
said,
lot.
but then
It's a
that
big
makes
difference.
sense.
So when
I, no, I get it. I get it. Tomato,
Now,
tomato.
if you're doing the 7-day fast
but
and you after the 3 days you start. I'm trying to think about the muscle part. So then, if you wait for the 3 days, you start to lift weights.
yeah,
When you take the supplements that you're saying,
yeah.
it'll still burn the body fat, give you the nourishment, and you'll still feel good and be able to. It'll help to lose the fat because you're doing the workout and build the muscle.
Well, you're already
Yeah, so you're
burning
doing
it.
both.
You're
Yeah,
just
so-
burning it just from burning it.
Yeah.
But then if you're working out at the same
But your
time,
body
yeah.
produces that growth hormone for the purpose of preserving your muscles.
Right.
Right.
But it's like a hack. If your body's still producing that hormone a little bit, and it's
Right.
still running through your system. So if you lift when you come out of that fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
pretty
read on
much,
that
yeah.
to see.
It's natural steroids.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
body.
right.
That's what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
When you think
pretty
about
much, Yeah.
Yeah, I want to try that.
Jacked.
Yeah, because I'm going on a
Ripped.
cruise
Muscle
next
growth
year,
hormone,
so
your body produces it.
I'm going on a cruise and I want to look nice and sexy for the cruise.
But the thing I do have to stress again is the hardest part that people forget is coming out of the fast is being mindful of your eating, because when you first come out of the fast, you're not hungry at all, which is weird. Like when you first break your fast, like after
That makes
5-day
sense,
fast,
though.
like you're not hungry and like it's weird eating. Like it feels weird. Your jaw biting down, like you haven't done it enough. It's really weird.
A few days.
But then once you start getting hungry again, you got to be careful, because it's very, very easy to start overeating,
Right.
because
Right. Because that seems to be instinct when that happens.
you want to start eating a lot.
You want to like,
You want
you
to
know,
start filling the
you're like,
calories in. So that's the tricky part.
we have it, boom, let's get it now.
Right.
When I first
run.
started doing the 16-8, even the 16, for when I first started doing when I have my first meal, which would be lunch, I'd be like, I gotta eat. Like I was so hungry, but now I'm kind of used to it. I like, you know what I mean? Because I do it all the time.
What was the first time? So that would make sense. Of course, the way
First
I would
week
react
do
to it would
it
be like, oh my
16-8.
God.
Oh my God. Each meal for lunch, like I was like, sometimes I bring some, I'll bring this, maybe I'll have this for, sometimes I'll do that. I'll bring a couple of snacks to work with me.
Okay.
And if I don't eat them, I bring them back home. But I eat them I'd eat everything that was in my lunchbox if I packed it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, I got you.
So, you know.
Right.
So for you, what was the best / healthiest fasting for you? Was it the 3 day? Is it just the intermittent?
Well,
What?
The 5-day fasts. I've done the 7-day fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough. The 7th day, I was like, I was going to do 2 weeks. I was like going real nutty. Like I was like, I'm going to do 2 weeks.
I can see you doing
At
that.
7 days, I was like, fuck this.
I'm surprised you even made it to 7. I would have made it to 2.
And you want to hear something funny? Because this is like really stereotypical vegan. I had fantasies into biting into tofu, raw tofu. I don't know why, and I don't eat raw fucking tofu. Sometimes I will if I'm cutting it up. I'll take a bite of. I don't know fucking why. I just raw tofu. I wanted to bite into raw. I just want to fucking like.
Wow.
I just kept thinking of it. It's so weird, right?
It's very
I
strange.
can see. I see the little bubble over his head right there. You know.
Right, eating it.
I see
And his
it,
wife beat her.
dude. Yeah.
My coffee stains on.
Yeah.
I don't have white.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
that's
Or I'm sorry to
great,
say,
man.
you know. But
I might.
anyway,
Yeah, I got a bunch.
but fucking yeah. Where was I going
So
with that?
the fasting,
No,
you were
just
saying.
about the
No, so you do crave. Your mind gets the
Right.
best of you, and not only that, I wasn't taking enough of the salt. This is when I was.
But what about people who don't need to lose weight? Fasting comes, and they already have a decent fat percentage as far as their physique is concerned.
But they want to do it for health reasons,
Right. So
Just bulk
how
up
does it
at
benefit
before
them? Does
afterwards,
it
you know
does
what
it
I mean?
still
Just-
benefit them the same as
Well,
it
yeah,
would?
there's all the like the ketosis and the autophagy and all that stuff. It's all
So you still have to go through that regardless. So whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Right?
that's why people will do it that don't need to lose weight. They're doing it for the health reasons. They're doing it for the autophagy and all
right.
No.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So now you said the doctor in Canada. What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Dr. Fung.
So Dr. Funk, for when he was doing with the people and with the patients and whatnot, and it was helping them, with the diabetes and such, were they getting IVs or they were just given, like they were in the hospital or whatever it was, and they just said, here's, drink these waters today, take these pills, or were they, like you said, hooked up to an IV this way, they were still getting just the liquids,
No, he would have to do a
just
fast.
regular, just boom,
yeah.
fasting.
Yeah. I mean, they would come in. I think his clinic, maybe they came in daily or weekly
Okay.
or whatever, just to check on them and stuff. Because
Make sure everything was good.
Yeah, because they had to manage their diabetes too. So
Right.
they would come in probably daily or
Right, because you couldn't
clinic,
you
but you just come in and
neglect
visit.
that.
Right,
You'd have to
right.
still pay attention to that regardless.
Wow, that's crazy though. That it pretty
makes
much
sense.
They
reversed
actually
the diabetes.
And once they hit the ketosis, they would come off they'd have to stop taking insulin. They'd have to manage their insulin too, because once you go into ketosis, you don't need insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Because there's nothing to break down anymore.
Yeah.
right,
Nothing
exactly.
to break down anymore. So there's no
Otherwise,
need
your blood sugar is gonna fucking tank.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, you do not want that.
Yeah, no shit, no.
So and then you have a baseline. I think they call it just like baseline insulin levels
Right. Okay.
when you're fasting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna have to read up for that so this way we'll
makes
read up on what it would be for me because I'm down to try that.
Yeah,
It makes
I would look up
sense.
Dr. Fung, he's actually cured people with.
Yeah. Now, when doing any of the fasting that you've done, what is the hardest thing for you? 'Cause I know you said like some people they'll overeat, you know what I'm saying, and eating the wrong food. You're vegan, so then what was the hardest thing for you to kind of get back into? As like I said with the food, is it that you ate too much tofu? Was it that you were eating more crackers
I
or
was
just
overeating in
Yeah,
general. Just
okay.
for every meal I'd eat like too big. You know what I mean? That's what you just gotta be mindful of that. And
You have to be disciplined.
yeah, you have to be disciplined. That's
Even though I know I can eat now, I can't go to town and have,
they'll mess up and they go, this fasting thing sucks. It's 'cause
Yeah,
gotta
you
be-
do.
But
Right.
and so you just gotta be mindful of that. That's
You're already there already, right?
Right.
So think about it. I mean, probably easier than said, of course. So I'm not speaking from experience, but I would imagine you're already there. The mindset would be, you're already there already. So you don't have to do anything.
right?
You've already fasted this long. So you're just eating a little at a time. I would imagine that would be the best way. So to get the body used to it happening again.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, if you keep
Yeah. No, definitely. That's why I'm asking.
everything's like,
for
oh, wait a
Tom.
minute, we got business people. Everybody wake up.
Right. Because I know for me, I don't eat super healthy as such. Like I'm not eating all the carrots and the vegetables, the fruits and all that other bullshit. I don't eat a lot throughout the day.
Right.
So I'll have for breakfast, if you will, I'm at work 6:30 in the morning. I'll have a cup of coffee and maybe some Ritz crackers or something, maybe. Usually it's just black coffee, and then I'll have a small lunch.
Yeah.
And then, dinner, I'll eat a kind of decent sized dinner. Because,
So try it. See what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, figure out which one. I would do the smallest one first and then work your way up.
Yeah, because like I said,
Think about it.
Now, we said, because it all depends though too, like you said, because for me, I like coffee. I drink coffee. I drink coffee and tea, but I like coffee. So that then, is it supposed to be, well, for what you've read, is it 1 cup of coffee for a day, or like can you have a few cups?
If you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, now we're talking. Yeah, because I drink coffee before I go to bed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like that for me would be
coffee before bed. You could drink
Green tea would probably be better, bro.
What I would
I
do
could
too
switch
is
up.
I'd like drinking
Trust me,
before
what
bed.
it does for you is
Sometimes just
amazing.
want some flavor in your mouth too,
Right. Yeah.
So, but the funny thing is though, like, man, like, I don't know why when you're fasting and you drink coffee, because you're drinking black coffee, my tongue would be like brown afterwards. Like I would get like coffee, my tongue, the tannins would stink. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's cool by me. Only kissing my wife, so it's
But you know
not
what's
like,
cool though is like you get like a deep cleaning when you're from brushing your teeth. Like think about it. You brush your teeth twice a day. You brush.
Right.
You're not eating any food, so you're just like
right.
you know what? You're you don't realize it, but like because when you eat, you don't notice it. But when you don't eat, your gums like shed, so you get that like film on. You still get like a film on your mouth from your gums shed.
I got
you.
you.
Don't notice it when because we eat, and it
Right.
that gets carried away with the foods, or that's part of your plaque that you brush away.
Right.
But now, if your tongue gets dark from the coffee, do your teeth get dark too?
Of course it will.
That's why I
Well, no, what I'm saying,
that's why
because
I
you said
started-
that the tongue gets, super, like his
Yeah,
tongue
yeah.
stays dark. So do your teeth get darker?
that-
If you're drinking through your teeth,
That's why you gotta maybe just swish some water afterwards.
Okay. Yeah.
well,
Like,
Probably
you know
do,
what I'm
I do
saying?
that now. My dental hygienist, she's like, you should swish. You get less staining if you swish water afterwards.
there's a lot of benefits though to fasting, right? So you got metabolic health, cellular repair, heart health, may improve cholesterol and blood pressure levels, right? Which is good because a lot of people have that. Brain health linked to improvement of focus, memory, and potentially fewer risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Oh, it's a big one.
Well, yes.
Spiritual and mental clarity.
I've heard someone mention something on a video one time I saw about fasting and
Neurodegenerative
that,
diseases. Wow.
Alzheimer's disease is a protein in your brain.
Right. They're finding a lot of stuff. They're finding a lot of stuff now.
They say that fasting can help prevent that or something because it eats some of the autophagy.
Well, it adds to definitely the preventive part of it, right? So
'cause it eats some of
fasting
those
definitely. But
proteins if you get extra proteins in your brain,
right, there's a lot of stuff you can do now that they're finding out. Like certain food you shouldn't eat, they sell you right out. This food do not eat what this oil does. So there are good oils and there are bad oils, right? So you got to know all of that. Because we don't realize
Omega-6, I think.
Yeah, it's like crazy. So you got to just make sure you're getting the right oil. That's it.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna have to start reading up on this because
Then you'll get the benefits for everything that you do, right? So
Yeah.
you don't want to do one thing and then you're doing the other thing, and it's
Right.
like, okay, you're kind of contradicting yourself in a sense,
because for me, like I said,
robbing
with
from
our-
yourself at the same time.
Because like I said, with the arthritis and everything that I've got,
Right.
that it just sounds like fasting might be the way. And especially
Maybe.
like I said, because I'm basically doing, I kind of sort of do it. I don't eat like a super huge dinner, and I eat little throughout the day.
And I remember Dr. Fung also saying like we're we're becoming like the obese nation and stuff like that. Back in the day, people would eat 3 meals a day, and that's all they would fucking eat. They wouldn't eat snack here,
Right, yeah, that in between and all that other stuff. Well,
Every
there's
time you're snacking, you're just telling your body store fat, store fat.
Right.
so obviously there's other reasons to fast other than eating one. They see spiritual and mental clarity, often using spiritual traditions to enhance focus and connection with the higher power.
Right. Well, that's the
Yeah.
like monks. I think it is
Well,
that fast like that.
Fasting has been practiced for thousands of years.
Potentially longevity.
Religions, so many religions and stuff.
Yeah.
Animal studies
Now,
suggest
oropathy, you said, is what it is? Oropathy?
Oropathy or neuropathy. What are you talking about? He said that.
Yeah, I'm asking. Remember we said when after the third day.
Autophagy.
Autophagy. I'm sorry.
Neuropathy.
Autophagy. I don't know where the other one came from. Yeah. Autophagy.
Did we talk
So
about
that that's what Tom was saying before,
Right.
that's when it is that your body is like, now you're working on overdrive. Your brain is working better. The cells are rebuilding and whatnot. So that's probably why it is that it's get that, that what people are believing to be the spiritual enlightenment. You know, third eye opening.
Body's going through something.
Yeah.
Potential longevity. Longevity is good. Animal studies suggest fasting may extend lifespan through more human research is needed. But they're saying that it could make your life longer.
Yeah. So
More healthy.
Well, that's what some people are doing. They say some people do the OMAD diet for longevity and just forever just have one meal a day. But again, you have to eat one big meal a day.
Right.
Like you need to eat like a 2,000 calorie if you're trying to sustain because you have to sustain your so whatever. Yeah, you know that chart. Like if you put in like your age and weight, it tells you like how many calories you're supposed to have a day. And in order to lose weight, you got to have this less calories. So whatever that like maintain weight is, like that, you got to have that for a meal, every day.
Yeah,
like, it's like 2,000 calorie meal.
That's insane.
It's like you feast every day.
I don't know if I'd be able to eat that much though.
Like
you know
that.
What I'm saying?
I see. I wouldn't be able to do it that way.
Your stomach stretches out and stuff. You have to, your body has to adjust to it. So OMAD is good to do here and there, but like if you're gonna do it long term, you better be in it to win it. You know what I'm saying? You better.
That's a tough one. It sounds like.
Like you better be in it long term, and if you come out of it, like I said, you gotta.
Well, they say
really adjust. It's hard to be used to feasting every night, and then now I gotta have 3 small meals.
They say tips for safety fasting: stay hydrated unless dry fasting. Ease in and out of gradually reduced food intake before starting to reintroduce yourself to food slowly after fasting. So, the
what?
We were just saying that before. So that's one of the things. Listen to your body. Stop if you feel unwell.
Yeah, of course.
Consult the doctor, especially for a prolonged fasting or if you have underlying health conditions.
That's the thing. All these fasting experts always have the in the beginning of the video saying,
fatigue.
Because you do have to listen to your body. If you feel like you're getting tired or fatigued.
Fatigue, irritability, headaches, and dizziness, especially for beginners.
Now, here's a good question.
So don't have any end tables or anything if you pass out.
No lie. Stay away from the corners.
I get a fasting supplement on Amazon, and it works. Because otherwise, I have those issues.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Right.
You really gotta, because you need the salt for a 5-day fast. You can do it without, but it's brutal.
Yeah, it hurts.
Why kill yourself? Because you want to be pure and only drink water. No, some people be like, oh, I don't drink coffee, I don't drink tea. Why? Like, I mean, unless you're like, there's no reason to be so pure about it. I don't, if you want to challenge yourself, you've done it after a while, but maybe I could do it without. Whatever. But like, just getting there is like.
Yeah. Well, here's a question that you might know the answer to then.
Well, it's definitely a discipline to do something like that. You got to be all in it before you make that decision. But go ahead. What were you saying?
So people, when they get older, say, probably mid-60s or up maybe, they don't eat as much as it is. You know what I mean? They just you're just not as hungry anymore. They're not just as hungry anymore or whatever. They're not eating the same. Is it already too late? In that sense, like for them, the body's already naturally, I guess, fasting is what I'm saying. Yeah. Is it then too late to be able to?
What do you mean, like?
So, like for us now,
older people, it shouldn't make a difference.
So like now we're in the, now we're in our, 40s and 50s. So then people that are in their 70s,
health
underlying, right?
Where you got to be careful with medications and stuff like that,
right?
But other than that, like you could be almost any age. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, if you're in your growth phase, when you're, from a child to, adult, like you shouldn't fast. Like it's not good. Like kids need their nutrients and all that shit.
Yeah,
kids can't fast.
No. But my mother didn't think of that.
If you're an adult,
I was growing up when the Jewish holiday came around. Mom's sitting on the couch eating the chocolate donut. But you guys can't eat. I can eat.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's all right. Childhood tragedy.
Dude.
A memory just flew into my head.
Dude, that's tragic.
Sorry.
That sucks.
Sorry?
Sorry.
Sometimes too. But anyway, I mean,
you just got to be careful.
I mean, people do it for religious practices, and it's fine, like a day. You know what I mean? For stuff for religious practices. Plus, a lot of the religious practices, like Ramadan, it's from sundown to sunup, so people get up early. So people try to hack it. They get up before the sun, eat,
right,
and then
yeah.
wait till
Jewish people fast as well.
Yeah,
They do a lot of. They have a lot of holidays where they,
or
a few, I should say, but I'm not. There's a lot. It might be, huh?
Is it sun up to sundown kind of thing? Like
It goes longer than that.
oh yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I thought it was sun up, sundown too.
But I know a lot of religions.
I don't think that
a lot of the oldest religions fast. So I know.
Yeah.
Judaism's older than
I don't even know.
lot
I
of
don't think
older
I
religions,
don't know one that doesn't fast at some point because Muslims fast.
You don't in the Roman Catholic religion. There's
Well,
no
they used
fasting.
to. They used to.
Isn't
They
it Easter?
stopped.
Wasn't
They
it?
used
Yeah,
to.
no, you just
Easter
eat
time.
fish, right?
They used to
Oh,
fast
Good
for
Friday.
Good Friday,
Right,
and then
right, and then they started-
They used to-
that's what I'm saying.
I remember my
That was only one
grandparents
day,
they used
so
to
you
do
can't even
it.
count
Was it?
them.
I thought it was like 3 days, man. I want to remember saying my grandmother had done it for
Right.
a few days that she would just like eat just sometime at night.
I know they would switch it when it came to a certain holiday, right? I think it was Easter. They would have just, or correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember which order it was
Yeah,
in.
me either. That's what
But they
I'm
would, instead of having, they couldn't eat meat on Friday. They would have fish, right? That was a big
yeah,
thing.
Friday was only fish, nothing else.
I got
Yeah,
this.
Right. Oh, you had to
Fish is
give.
meat.
yeah. I understand.
Like, so I didn't know
Yeah.
whatever that meant.
Yeah, like I would just eat rice because I was like, yeah, I'm not going without fish. I mean, without meat. Like just eating fish. Like, couldn't.
Right.
Do it. It was only
But no,
my
I'm saying, so the other ones, the older religions, they
Right.
definitely have it already in and structured that way,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Again, it's a lifestyle. You got to get used to it. If it's something that you want to do for yourself, you know so much about it that this is a for Tom thing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So then I'm like, shit, I want to be like Tom. You know what I mean? To have,
Right.
because for me, it's just,
Yeah.
it's having that discipline.
well, that's what it is with anything when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You just make your mind up.
Right.
Once you're ready, you'll know. Like, when you quit smoking or you have those big moments
Yeah.
in your life, I would look at it that way in a sense where I've done something like, that was a huge thing for me, be able to quit smoking.
Yeah.
I've come a long place where I'm not the same person when I was
Right.
25 years ago. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so you got to hopefully just
And I
take it from that way.
And I did
that
a-
prospect.
I did a 5-day fast recently, last month, or I did in September, and I hadn't done one like over a year or two. It was a while, and I still had that problem, even though I was cognizant of it. Very mindful. I still had a little bit of problems overeating a little bit.
Did you really?
Yeah, so you just have to be mindful of that shit. It's not easy. That is the hardest part, I think.
It is. It's hard.
Fasting, and none of the fasting, you'll never see a fasting blogger or a social media person. They never mention that. So, and there's only a couple have, and but the big popular, they never say, oh, so they'll say it, but they don't really stress it. They just, when you eat, just make sure you're mindful. They blow over it, and it's like towards the end of the video, you don't notice it. They really blow over it. So it's really important to be mindful of that. I keep bringing it up because
Well, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
That's
because
it.
you
thing
need
that
to get
people
whatever in your body is
it's a thing
necessary.
that always they
Right. Otherwise, you're just defeating the whole purpose.
Right.
You're not looking to make yourself sick.
Yeah. Yep. Just
Supposed to
make
help
sure. I
yourself
think
out.
for everybody, but again, like I said earlier, everybody's body is different. How everybody deals and takes and meds and vitamins and everything else with it, exercise and such. Everybody has to be mindful what it is for them. Read up on it. How Tom does it isn't the same way that Lou and Dorai can do it.
join groups on Facebook,
Yeah.
on Reddit. That's where I got a lot of my information from. I joined,
Oh, here we go.
fasting for weight loss, or a group I was in. There was a couple fasting groups. You can learn a lot about it. So that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep. Go ahead, Lou.
Alternate day fasting. Have you heard of ADF?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they could do that too. Like we
Fasting
do
every
a 1 day fast, a couple
Other
days
day,
a
or
week.
eating minimal calories on fasting days.
Yeah, you just do
Dry fasting, which is no food and no water, right?
Yeah.
Now that I don't know. I'd be
that's
scared of that.
not- I mean, if you're gonna do it like Ramadan, I know some people that do it, or some people consider dry fasting where you drink a lot of water once a day or something like that. But you have to be really careful with that because you could fuck your kidneys up.
Right. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right. No, you need to know how you're doing.
That's
Right?
I know some people that do it, and I don't.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I like the
So
idea.
they say
Yeah.
dehydration is the number one risk and consideration you need to know about. Nutrient,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you drink water,
No,
water fills you
suitable
up.
for everyone. You got to make sure you're doing it. People with certain medical conditions, diabetes, eating disorders. So you got to be careful what you're doing. Program or don't just take it out on your own. Just go talk to somebody and they can guide you through it somehow.
Right.
Or give you something that you can follow. Pregnant or breastfeeding women, of course, makes sense. But then, of course, you have to really know that. Athletes and individuals with high energy needs. So we were just saying before, Tom, you were just saying the muscle gives you that. So the athletes are thinking in that sense, too, they're getting extra power out of it. At least they think they are.
Right.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Well,
So
like we said, go do your research, check before you do it, check with your doctors, read up on it, ask the right questions. Like Tom says, you join, groups and whatnot, get all your stuff, ask.
Yes.
Again, ask. Because you
we
never
get
know.
it.
I want to make sure because like Tom is saying, you got to be careful with you.
I know.
So, but all
We're
right,
not
so
telling
with
anybody what to do. We're just letting them know.
that- right. Yeah. Just something to talk about. See what's
anyway,
up. But so with that, appreciate you guys for listening. Love, peace, and hair grease.
live long and prosper.
And go vegan.
Holla.